Hello everyone. So in the last session, we saw how to create classical report. Okay, how to create events in that, how to create button. We saw how to create the post button, how to create the button on the toolbar, and how to print the data on the output screen. So those many things we saw in the classical report, and these many things only we do in the classical reports. So we have one more report, one kind of report called interactive report. Okay, so what does that interactive report means? Okay, so let's suppose this is one of the screen. Okay, and we are interacting with the screen, like I'm clicking on some button. Okay, and it's some screen got pop up. I'm clicking on this button, it's to go back. Okay, I'm trying to open this folder and then this folder, and then trying to execute this T code. So this is like I'm interacting with this screen. Okay, so we have some reports available. Okay, in SAP that we call interactive reports, or these are the form of ALV reports. Okay, so with that help, what we can do is we can perform some action on the output screen set. Like we want to fill some values, we want to do some hierarchy of values, like this is hierarchy. Okay, so if you want some generate some report like hierarchy report, like material, then which plants are available, like if I'll go to MP51 one sec. So material document list, MMBE, we have some report. So these are like standard report which SAP has given. Okay, and if I just give any number 88, let's see. So we got this report. This is also one kind of report. Okay, and we can see if you want, like there's no quantity available, so we cannot drill down the data over here. Otherwise, we can drill down. So this is report, like, but it is form of report, like it's reporting something to us. Okay, the same thing we can also utilize, like we can also create with the help of module pool, but mostly we create ALV reports. What is ALV means? Our list viewer actually. Okay, so we'll see how to create those lists, how to create those reports in our system, and why do we create that. Okay, so the question is, why do we create such reports? Okay, so first thing is that SAP has given us a lot of standard reports. If I'll go to SE38 program, and we have like SAP star, if I'll do, there are a lot of reports available. Okay, like some might be some programs, standard programs, but there might be some reports also available. Like I saw yesterday one report. This is some demo they have given for post buttons. Okay, so if I execute, it is giving me some example for buttons. Okay, so likewise SAP itself has given so many reports for so many transactions, like we have PR data, PO data, GR, SR, or an SD or FI data. Okay, so those reports are available already in SAP. But in some scenario, what happens that customer specific data, they want some, they don't want to see all those data in the screen, or they don't want some their own logics to fetch the information and want to display the data in report. So for that purpose, we have to create those reports in our custom programs. Okay, with the help of our custom program. So how we can create it, so we'll just see one example first. Okay, so I'll go to SE38. There we'll just give one call chat interactive report. Create, give demo interactive report, and we'll give a type as executable type. Okay, save it. We are not going to move it to another system, so there's no requirement to give a package or TR. I'll just save it in the local system. Okay, now this screen has come up. Okay, and here we'll be writing the code. Okay, so we'll just take an example of two tables, Mara or Marcy. Okay, these are the basic table we mostly use in our most of the example if you are teaching or learning. Okay, so that it's easy to fetch the information from the tables and display in the code. So first, let's do one thing. I'll just create one local structure. Okay, or directly I'll utilize the Mara structure, so that we don't have to create a local structure. So first, let's create one screen. Okay, so there is some flow for that interactive reports. What's the flow is that first, we have to create select selection screen. So this is optional. If you don't want to give selection screen, no problem. You can directly execute the data or report, and it will show you some kind of report based on the logic which you have written. Okay. The first thing is, I'll say, sorry. The sequence should be first we declare the data, okay, or variables or any tables if you want to use. So that we declare first, okay, in the program. Then second, we do the selection screen mostly, okay. So we create our selection screens, like we want some field with that we want to validate the information, or we want only the data based on that field. Okay, we can say I want only the data for these many materials, and that's all. That's my agenda for that. Then we do the program fetch data, okay, or I'll say data selection, okay, from tables. Then we write the logic to process code, okay, process data or write logic, or what we can say is we transform the data as per our business requirement. Okay. Then next will be, once the data is ready, we have to tell the program that what is our headers, okay, and like how the headers would look like. And for that, what we do is we use the field catalog. Okay, I'll just write like that only. Okay. Then 6 will be, we have to call ALV FMs. Okay, so we have multiple ALV FMs available. Like we can call reuse, ALV create, reuse, list, view, and there are some 6 to 7 FMs available that we'll see some at least 2 to 3 examples which we generally use. Okay, so these are the steps. Okay, and once that is done, what we do is sorry, there's one step before 6. I'll say 5 here. Okay, 6 and then 7, and we clear the variables. Okay, clear unused variables or tables. Okay, so that our memory will be saved, and when the logic runs, like if they're running it many times, then it should not misbehave. Clear variables, tables, okay, work areas. So these are the mostly steps we follow when we write the code for any report. Okay, so the code can be like 300 line, 500 line, 10,000 5,000 or 10,000 line also. So that based on our logic or the requirement which we are going to fulfill with the help of this report. Even I have seen some reports which having more than 12,000 line of code, and those much complex logic was written. Even I have seen 2 to 300 line of code also. So that based on our requirement, like how we writing this. Okay, so first let's create selection screen. So I'll create that declare the data based on the selection screen, and wherever we required which variable or table we require, then I'll create the table on top of that. Okay, so first let's create the selection screen. So how we can create the selection screen? So I'll just give select options. Okay, and we'll follow the naming convention called as depends on select option, and then Meitner. Meitner is our material number field which is there in the table. Okay, and see, now if I want to utilize a select option, I need to use for operator. And if I'll give bara underscore c, it will not identify. So for that, what I have to do is first I have to tell the programs here tables bara I'm going to use in the local. Okay, now if I use it, see, now it gave me the suggestions like which field you want to use, then like that. Likewise, we will be adding the fields wherever required. Okay, one by one. So now we have created one variable. Just give me a minute, guys. Sorry, guys. I got cough. Okay, so we have created one of the fields. So if I want to just save it, check it, and activate it. So make a practice, okay, to always check the code after two and like some 10 line or 15 line of code, so that when you get some error or something, then you are easily able to identify that and you can correct the error. So now We'll just give some name over here. We can go to statement, then text element. We have to go to selection text and click on the DDIC reference. Even we can give our own name, like if I want to give my own name, I can give material number. So that will be displayed on the selection screen. So if I'll go back and execute, now our material field is ready to accept the inputs. Okay, so first thing is done. Now we have to fetch the data, right? So how to fetch the data? We need some internal table first to fetch the data, like we have seen in the classic report. We need internal table data, internal tables, local internals, and the work area which will hold our data while we are processing the data. Okay, so I'll just fetch some data, like create some tables. So how to create the tables and the reports? So we have to use this keyword called data as a local table lt underscore mara type standard table, because we are likely going to utilize mara. Mara is our standard table, so we can give the type standard table of mara. Okay, and I'm giving comma here so that I can create the work area also. So wa underscore mara, then type, and here because we are not giving a type of table mara, I'll just give normal as type mara. And when I told you last time, we can create the work here like this also, or how we can create, we can create the like, okay, we have to give comma over here, otherwise it will not accept. And we'll give mara1 and like comma, I forgot. So if I just give space, it says like line of. So it is a like line of it mara. I'll copy and paste it. So when the like operator works here is when we already have an existing object in our program, and which is a type of something. Okay, we cannot give like line of mara. Okay, if I'll just try to give that, let's see if any error comes. See, it give error. See, mara is not an internal table, so I can only utilize lt mara, so that it directly says, okay, whatever the lt mara is there, the same is wa mara, but it is a line. Okay, it is a table which holds rows and data, and it only holds a one line at a time. Okay, so that's how we can create the work area. So I'll just comment it for now. It is just for learning. I bring it again. Okay, and we'll create one more table. Okay, I have to give comma. Okay, here only we'll create one table. So I'll create one table called lt underscore marcy type standard table of marcy, comma w underscore marcy type marcy. So we are going to use these two tables. So for that only I created two tables. Okay, if required, I'll be deleting one or creating some other tables also. Okay, so now we have two tables ready with us. Okay, so now we can go for the third statement, which is our fetch data or data select the data from the tables. Okay, so this is our third step for that. So how we can fetch the data? Either we have to write, we can write the start of selection events also, but here I'm not utilizing any of that. We will be seeing that code later in the sessions. Okay, how to use all the events in single reports. Okay, so currently I'll directly start with select. Okay, and I'm not going to use all the fields of mara table. What I'll do, I'll just select Metner and mtart and ersda. So these three fields I'm going to use in from the mara. So we'll say from which table we have to take, it from mara table. These are the fields of mara. So if we want to see this, I just save it and we'll double click on this mara table. Okay, if I just click on that, see, Magner we have field. Okay, we have field called ersda and we have field called mtart. Okay, so these three I have taken, or I can take the matl as well. So I'll take matl. And one thing you have to always keep remember, okay, that I'll show you what you have to remember when you're writing the queries. So it's easy to use ersda, mtart, and then matl. Yeah, so when you are writing the code, okay, and always make a practice to give the field in the sequence it is there in the table. Okay, So what happens when we are writing this code and this system, the SAP, when it's try to execute the program, right? We have something called dispatcher, we have something called LUW, and so many words are available, but don't worry about those things. Okay, so just think like when this code is going to be executed, it search these fields in this Mara table. Okay, if you are not giving it in a sequential way, it will make some problem while searching the information in the table. Okay, so try to give these fields in a sequence which is there in the table itself, and it makes us easy also while we are writing the binary code, like read statement or loop statement, all those things. So it helps actually. Okay, now we have given select these fields, okay, from Mara table, and where you have to do write these information so into table. So we have created one table, LT Mara, okay, where we have to give a condition. What condition? That we have chosen one select options as Maintner, right? So we can use this as Maintner. So where Maintner, which is a table field in. So we have seen this when to use in and when to use equal to in the classical reports. So if you want to know that, you can just go to that watch video, go to that video and watch it, or else I'll also link that video somewhere here. Okay, and you will be able to see that if you want to see that. Okay, so this is we have written our statement. Okay, like it will fetch the information. Let's see if any error comes or if you have missed some wrong mistake or done some mistake. So there is no mistake here, no syntax error found in report. Okay, now there is always a best practice when you are doing this select statement or any read statement or loop statement. Always do a size RC check. So it helps actually to follow our program or the logic in correct way. Like if we are not getting data, then we should not flow with the other logic. Okay, the other flow like reading other table and all those things. So before going for further logic, always check whether you have data available in the table or not, whether the statement got executed or not. So SAP has given us size of RC check, which help us tell, okay, what was the last statement used? Like it give us everything was okay, or there was some error. So then the size of RC will be 4, and then is some field or something, some issue is there. Then size of RC 8 will come. Okay, so size of RC 0 means everything goes fine. Then what we'll do? We'll sort this table. Okay, always sort this table. So this is a best practice for the performance, and it is also an interview question that what are the best practice when we write the program. So first thing they say is that we always say that we choose the less number of field. We should not use Mara or all the table fields in the select query. Okay, the one which is really required that we should use. The second will be always do the size of RC check. Okay, third thing should be always do the sort statement. Okay, and the next thing I'll tell you what the next interview question will be. Okay, so sort LT Mara, and we have some keywords available. If you are, so we have keywords like ascending and descending. So I'll say ascending by our Maintner number. So what is Maintner number? Rightly, we'll get the Maintner from here. Okay, so this is how we can sort our table. We can sort it descending or ascending based on our logic. Okay, there was some requirement like if you want to give the latest date, then we have to sort the with ascending date, descending date, and if you want to just get the first date, then go for the ascending one. Likewise, depends on the business logic, we can write the statements. Okay, now we have fetch one table data. Okay, if you want to see this, we can do one thing, that loop at screen, sorry, loop at LT okay, into, we have created a work area, right? Because we are going to read one by one line, right? So that we'll use the work area WMARA. Okay, now I'll just simply write whether the data was fetched or not. So I'll say write and WMARA and print this Maintner only enough for us, Maintner. And one more thing I'll take. Okay, so it will be easy to see. I'll say mtart also, mtart will give the next line. Okay, here. So these operators we have already seen in our classical reports. Okay. Okay, now let's see what it prints. So first I'll give some number here, 88, and I'll give a range like 80 to 100, whatever is there, select everything from the query. So, okay, it has not printed Metner. Why? Should we select Metner? We selected Metner. Okay, WA Mara, loop IT into Mara. Why it is not printing WA Mara? Let's activate again. Let's see. Okay, because we have given this. Okay. Mara. Okay, let me put a debugger over here and see what the issue is. So I'll give it 8 to 100. What got fetched? Total 3 rows got fetched, and then Metner, and then ERNM. I think some issue with the table. One sec. Okay, so I got the point. Why we are facing this issue here. Okay, so what happened now? See, we have given here the type of Mara, okay, and the structure which got created, it was based on this table Mara, okay. If I want to fill this information, okay, if I want to use this information, so whatever the fields we are getting, see, Mara is our table, okay, which holds a key value one by one. See, Matner, okay, Matner, ERSTA, ERNM, LEAD, ANM, okay, likewise. So if we fetch three information like Matner, MTAR, TSL, and all those things, it will try to store those value one by one, okay. And that's the problem we have done. So what we can do is into uh, there is one keyword available. Uh, the keyword is corresponding field, okay. So if we are taking a reference from a table directly but not utilizing all the fields, okay, then we can use the statement called corresponding fields, okay. And as per the above practice, it is not recommended to use the corresponding fields, okay. But still, this is for example, so we'll see. So I'll just say into corresponding field of table IT Mara, okay. Let's check if any syntax error. No, then we'll just activate it. See, it puts the load on the system. See, now we have used Mara has almost 250 plus table fields. See, 287, okay. And now if you want to use some 10 fields which from the random locations, and we just say to program that go and find these places and put it in the corresponding fields, okay, of this field, and then we have to map with this field also, then it's hard actually for the program. It's not uh, impossible, it's a bit hard actually, and it creates a load in the system. So this into corresponding is not recommended to use, but yeah, if it's choosing one or two field, that's fine, you can utilize it, okay. So this is also one of the question, that performance, how to improve the performance. Then in that time we said that we should not use the into corresponding field statement in the select queries, okay. So this is also one of the questions we get in the interview. So let's see now if any. I'll print mtart also. I think this time we'll get the correct output and execute. I'll give it to 100. See, now we got the correct output. So this is our MATNER number, this is our mtart number. So that's how we can see whether that information is correct or not. So now I'll just remove this. This is not required for now, okay. We'll select the data from the margin table as well, so that we'll print both the information, okay. So how to do this? First, if you are writing, I'll just say select, okay, and we'll not select all the data of marcy, okay. We'll just select the data which we are giving in the selection screen, and for that we got the data in lt mara. For this record only we'll fetch the information, so that the records are in sync. So I'll say select. We have field in marcy table called MATKL, not some text is there. One sec, let me check that. I'll take the plant from here, WRKS. Only one field is enough for the example. Okay, select Maintner, comma plant. Okay, WRKS, and from table Marcy. Okay, into here also we'll have to use corresponding. Why? Because we have not given the local structure and we are using the standard table. Okay, so we have to use this into corresponding only. So this is not recommended when we are doing for big programs. Okay, into corresponding table of, I'll say LT Marcy. Okay, and where, and now we want to fetch the entries, or we can, if you might have read what is joins and all, right? So for that in SAP we have one feature called for all entries. Okay, we have join also available in SAP, but joins are not recommended. We use for all entries. Okay, and for all entries in which table? LT Mara table. Okay, so whatever the entries is gonna come into this table, for that only you go into this table. Okay, and fetch the data. No need to go and search for all 10,000 12,000 entries, only the one which came in this table, and only for that we'll process further. Okay, and where, I'll just say what's the linkage between this table and this table. Okay, so I'll say where Maintner, and Maintner here is also at MRC field. So I'll say Maintner equal to LT MRC and Maintner field. Okay, for I'll say Mara. Okay, sorry, right? And that's how we will link these two tables. So for these much Mara, we have to fetch information in Marcy table according to the method. Okay, so that's how we write the logic, and just close it, and we'll check if any error. Again we have check here, right? So same we also check here, and I just change the table name LT Mara to LT Marcy. Ascending by Maintner. Here also see, now if I'll go to check Maintner, here it is sorted, and here also sorted Maintner. It's easy to for the processor to check, like if you want to search some record, it's easy to find. Okay, we got some error here. Interval cannot be used as a work area. Okay, so into table, because field of table we have to give as table now. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now there is no problem. Okay, there is one more interview question come here, that what is a prerequisite to use this keyword called for all entries in LTMara. So the prerequisite is that this table should be first sorted. Okay, and the second thing, it should not be empty. Empty means it should have always have a data, then only this should be used in this selected statement, otherwise it should not use. So for that what we'll do, we'll all check with this, if LTMara is not initial, so it will do the check whether the table is empty or not. If it's not empty, then only go to this statement, otherwise do not go. So this is also one of the performance thing and the interview question people ask. Okay, so we have checked that this is not initial, then only it should go. Otherwise what you will say, you just say no data found. So what I'll do here, we'll just give a else condition. Okay, saying message, I'll just put a message over here, message no data found in Marcy table. Okay, or Mara, and close it with type is informative message, and save it. We have some several kind of messages available. For that I'll just take single session and will show you how to use the messages. So now this is activated and we have table and we have data. Okay, so now this thing is over. See, we have used that fetch return select the data from the tables. Okay, so we have taken two fields. Now process the data. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to create single table. Okay, where the data for this table and data for these from this table should come into the single table, because we want to display in the screen. We cannot display two table data at two places in the screen. we have to somehow merge it. Okay, we have to write some logic if you want to write change some values on the runtime, or do some logic, depends on the business users. Okay, so for that we have to create one table, so which we mostly use it as a final table, we call it. Okay, so either we can just, I can give a comma over here or continue here like lt underscore final. Okay, type. Before that we have to tell that what is our structure, because we do not have any structure or this standard table available only for these six fields like 1 2 3 4 5 or 6, and maintner is duplicate here, so we will take the maintner only once, count once. So we do not have any structure available in system which we can utilize, or we can create one structure in the S11. Like if I'll go to S11. Okay, and here I can just go to data type, I can create git underscore final kind of structure. Okay, if I'll just click on create and click on structure. Okay, here I can give the those 5 6 field and directly use this one as a type. So this is also possible. Okay, but for all the programs we don't do not create until unless it is going to be used at multiple places, and if it is not going to be used, then we'll just create the local structure and that will suffice the purpose. Okay, so we'll just first create the types. So types we create before the data, because first we create the structure and then we create the tables, right? So I'll just create the types here. Types begin of ty underscore final, and give the meaningful name. I'm just giving some here as an example. Okay, so that depends on your business document you might get from the business, that this is a naming convention you should follow. And let's copy these fields directly. Maintner. Okay, I'll give type maintner. mtart is also type mtart. erst also type ersta. If not, then I'll check what's the type for that, and type grammatical is also same. So let's see in the Mara if any change is there in the data element. We should not give different type. So matter was matter, erst is the same, and mtart is also mtart, and grammatical is also grammatical. Okay, now we have to use the second table field also. So now we have matter and wrks works. Okay, if I'll give here. Okay, now if you see here, maintner is already defined here. See, maintner and maintner two times cannot be defined. If you want to define it, you can give the maintner one over here and then utilize it. Okay, type maintner only, or otherwise if it is going to hold same value, then there is no requirement to give the again. Okay, so type wrkas, and let's see for this marcy also whether wrks is the same. Okay, see here the data element was changed, wrks underscore d. So I should use wrkdst, otherwise it will give me an error. So let's see whether it's giving me an error or not. So if I just say F2, okay, I think there is some, it is also available, so but better to give wrkst. Okay, and I'll just activate it. There's no error. Now we'll create one table. Okay, so if I'll go to lt final, we'll just give comma over here. Type table of, see now I'm not giving standard table. Why? Because we are going to use the local structure, so that time we do not give the type standard. Okay, so this is one of the question we get in the interview, when to use the standard table and when to use the normal type table. Okay, I just give w underscore final type and same ty final. We have created one table. Now tables empty local table is available. We have a data in these tables. Now let's process our data. So how to process? First thing is that this is the main table and this is our sub table here, because we fetch the data based on this table. So sometime there might be a business logic available, like I have written some code. Sometime I first read this data and then I go for this table, so that you have to see when you are working which table first you have to loop, and that. So now first we have to read this data. Now we have to fill this table. Okay, we have to fill ty final table, lt final table we have to fill, and all the records should go to this. So now we have to merge this table and this table data into one single table, and for that only we call it as final. Okay, now our data will be ready in the some final table. Okay, so how to do this? So I'll just first do a loop. Okay, and first I will loop this main table, which is my Mara table. Okay, Mara table I'll say as my primary table. Okay, into I'll say work area. We created a, like we have to give a work area also to read the statement in the line by line. Okay, then this is ready. Okay, now it will loop all the data record into WMARA. Now we can do a read statement, like if some entry is available in this or not, then only we have to go. Either we can use the again loop also. Okay, we can use one more loop, and I can loop this LT-MRC also. This also possible. Okay, if I just want to fetch information into WA underscore MRC. Okay, and where Metner equals to this method. So only that entry should be fetched. But this creates a performance because now we are looping and we are not reading. Loop is bit expensive statement than read statement. Okay, and read statement, why it is easy, because we use the binary search, like some sorting algorithms works in the background. Okay, if I just give also, so this will read the table data for this into WMRC, and then how we can do is I can do the assignment. So I will use this WA final. Okay, and then I have to tell what's my Metner first. Okay, so my first Metner is equal to, I'll say take the Metner from WMR itself. Okay, so we have to assign one by one all the fields to Metner, or we can assign all the values in one shot also if it has same structure, but this structure is different and this structure is different. This structure is Mara structure. Mara has almost 286 fields available, right? We saw in the tables, but that program, that local structure has only 6 fields. If sometime in the program we have same structure available, we can directly write statement, like how we can write, like WA final. Okay, equals to, I just put a comma over here so that we don't get read. WA final equals to WMARA, and that will copy all the information available in this work area to this work area. We can also copy the table data also. So how we can copy the table data? If I want to, if this table and this table has same structure, right? Structure means the number of fields are the which fields having, both having same fields. Okay, so what I can do is I can do LT-MRC, and I can put this bracket equals to, and then LT-MARA. So this will copy all the table in data in LT-MRC from this table. So that's also possible, so that we can see in upcoming sessions. Okay, when we do that and how we can do it. Okay, for now I'll just use this one, and then we have next field called Metical Metner. What was the next field which we saw in the sequence also? Let's take a same field only. So Metner mtart ersta. Mtart equals to, where's the mtart? Mtart is sitting in this table, right? So I'll take the data from this table, and the next one is ersta, and erst also sitting in this table, right? Ersta, and we have next field called Metner one. So we took the Metner one also, right? So that also we can use if you want to display. So Metner one, if you want to use, you can utilize from this table also now, because this one also has a Metner. So I'll just say Metner, then plant WRKS equals to WRK. Okay, once this is ready, now it will have all the information one by one we have filled it. Now what we can do is we can create, append the data. So there is a keyword available which will hold, copy this data to the table. Okay, we have created the data one by one, and then we will copy the data in the table. Okay, so we have append keyword available which says that append this work area information to this table. So what's the table name for us? It is TY final. Okay, now it will have the end later on. I told you, right? After once this is done, we should clear the variables or work area or table, and if it is not used, so that when the again new loops comes, okay, again it will be filled, and then again we'll append the values and come back. Okay, now I'll just check if any error is there in the system, okay, in the program. Okay, okay, we took the wrong file table name. The table name was lt final. See, whether we can write the message here, the field ty final is unknown, and the similar name is available, lt final or nt final. So accordingly, see, I have worked on the programs and I know some basics, so I can, by seeing the error also, sometimes we can identify, okay, this is a problem, we should not use this one. So we got the error. Okay, now I'll just put a breakpoint here, and let's see what values are filled in this it final. Okay, I'll just execute it simply and give the number like 88 to 900, okay, or 100. Okay, so we saw last time there was 3 entries, right? And we should now be able to see all 3 entries. Now if I just press and execute, I'll have to reshare my screen because the debugger screen will not be available. Yeah, see, we came to this program now. Okay, and if I simply go to 6 7, okay, see, we came here to this breakpoint. Now if I just check what is there in this table, okay, it says total 4 entries are available. Let's see which all the 4 entries. If I just double click on this, it says we have 88, 88, 89 and 89. Total 2 and 4 entries came. Why? Because we have multiple plants available with us. So for one plant, one material, for another plant, same material. Okay, for the next plant we have one more material. For 89 we have another plant. So we can map, see, we have mapped Medner, MTAT, ERC table, MATCL, these 4 values data we have mapped with another table data, and we kept it in a single thing. So that's what we call it as final table. Or we can still use this table for some more further process, okay, and create, add 1 or 2 field, and then we can add those fields over here, then utilize in the final table. Okay, so if I simply execute it, nothing will come because we have not given any output or any screen for that. Okay, so nothing will come and it will come to the main screen again. So we came to the back to the main screen. Okay, so because we have not given any write statement or any statement. Okay, so that's how we can first fetch the information, and now we can write some point over here, like how we can create a field catalog. So we have steps over here. That first, now the data clear variable is done. Okay, now we have to create the field catalog and then call the ALV and FMs. Okay, so these steps will help us to print the data in the output screen, which we have seen, right? So with that help only we can print the data on output. So this will take some time actually, because I have to create field catalog one by one, and let's create this in the next session. Okay, because the session will length will increase, and it won't be helpful for others. So we can see this in next session. So I'll just stop the recording and let me know if any doubt.